Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in the future, from wherever you're joining, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to join us for a very special webinar featuring IDC analyst Nolan Greene and Mojo Chief Marketing Officer Freddy Mangum. I would now like to pass the floor to our presenter today, Nolan Greene, a senior research analyst for network infrastructure at IDC. Today, Nolan's going to be talking about the proliferation of mobile devices and how large enterprises must cope with this digital transformation. In addition, he'll be sharing the top 5 factors that companies should consider for next generation Wi-Fi and the research behind them. Without any further delay, I'm going to pass the floor to Nolan.
Thank you, Erica, for such an excellent introduction. Doesn't require anything else from me. But I'd like to say welcome to the webinar today. I'll briefly share my agenda. Very simple. I'm going to talk about the third platform of enterprise IT and how that's resulting in digital transformation across all types of organizations. And then I'll talk about the 5 factors to consider for a next generation Wi-Fi infrastructure before leaving you with a few points of essential guidance. I'd like to set the stage by talking about the third platform in digital transformation. The third platform at its most basic level is a new paradigm of enterprise IT built around 4 pillars: cloud, big data analytics, social business, and mobility. The third platform has been emerging for a few years now and is being accelerated by several factors. Among those are next-gen security, Internet of Things, and 3D printing. Those are technologies that you may already be seeing in your organization. And together, all of these enable digital transformation, which leads to great new opportunities to revolutionize how business is done, how citizens, constituents, and students are served, both from the back end of the business and the front end as well. And I want to talk through a few examples of what digital transformation in its early stages is looking like in different verticals. I've picked 3 for illustration. I've picked K through 12 education, higher ed, and carpeted enterprise. And what does that look like in K through 12? We're seeing in many schools already one-to-one tablet deployments with personalized curricula that can be pushed down from the teacher. We're seeing smart boards in every classroom that can interoperate with these mobile devices as well. What does this look like in higher ed? We're seeing location-based services that run over the wireless LAN, used for things like wayfinding, used for better public safety through emergency call boxes and similar wirelessly connected technologies, and also applications that can direct students to technological resources like remote printers that are wirelessly connected. It also leads to true mobility for faculty. They can move their classrooms, hold office hours, go to Blackboard and other learning platforms without regard to time or place, much in the same way that enterprises use mobility to break down the traditional barriers of time and space. And for the general enterprise, organizations of all sizes are seeing moving products and services to digital platforms, enabling omni-channel models, but also on the operational side, being able to use cloud CRM and cloud ERP on mobile devices anywhere in the world. And of course, IoT deployments are well underway in the enterprise. Some very early winning use cases are smart lighting and smart appliances, as well as advanced RTLS or real-time location services. And what enables this digital transformation? Obviously, an organization needs a great up-to-date network infrastructure, and wireless is really a foundation of that. Mission-critical tasks are migrating to the wireless network, and so the next generation enterprise has to assure 5 things: wireless performance, manageability, security, extensibility, and cost performance. So we move to the next slide. Let's talk about what we mean by performance. This is very high level, but these are among the most important things to think about when choosing a wireless LAN infrastructure. First, there's capacity. With myriad BYOD bring your own device or choose your own device deployments on enterprise networks. There are so many more devices on the enterprise accessing wireless than ever before. And of course, with business critical tasks being performed on these devices, having fast, strong performance anytime, anywhere in the organization is critical. And adding to the impacts of BYOD and enterprise mobility is IoT, Internet of Things. These sensors, which can be location sensors, can be smart lighting sensors, can be so many different use cases. This is expected to mushroom into 30 billion 20, the vast majority of those being in the enterprise, which will really constrain capacity in many organizations as well. In the past, there had been debate as to what's more important, capacity or coverage. But in today's mobile age, coverage is just as important as capacity. Once upon a time, wireless use cases may have been constrained to one part of the organization. That may have been for guest access or for conference rooms only. But now coverage must extend throughout the enterprise campus or throughout the educational campus because people want to work and they want to socialize mobily no matter where they are. And an organization's wireless LAN infrastructure must ensure seamless handoff and roaming. As devices move from access point to access point, connections can't be dropped. There can be no latency in the connection. Which brings me to my next point, quality of experience, which encompasses quality of service or QoS. With so many mission critical applications depending on the wireless network, there must be no latency, no jitter. In the enterprise and in educational institutions, fast upload speeds and download speeds are absolutely non-negotiable. And a big part of this is the rise of multimedia applications, whether that be video chatting platforms like Skype or enterprise telepresence, or moving VoIP from a wired connection to a wireless connection. Those applications are critical and they cannot suffer from latency or jitter. And a good wireless LAN management platform will allow for the proper prioritization to ensure that your calls are not dropped or that your video chats function correctly in real time. And what's aiding wireless performance in many organizations is the emergence of the 802.11ac standard. More applications are moving off of the wired network or moving from being exclusively on the wired network to the wireless network because 802.11ac can provide wired-like speeds to wireless applications. When considering a wireless LAN infrastructure platform, consider the 802.11ac offerings. Wave 2 802.11ac, which promises even higher speeds than Wave 1, is available on the market now, but each vendor has a different roadmap and upgrade path. So consider how that fits in to your organization's needs when evaluating wireless LAN infrastructures. And we do expect Wave 2, which is moving somewhat slowly right now, to pick up in the future as we're seeing more Wave 2 compatible devices, such as Chrome tablets that are picking up speed in the education sector. So move on to the next slide. And just to illustrate real data about the number and the diversity of devices in the enterprise, we asked around 250 enterprise network managers in the US last year, what types of devices are they seeing? What's the prevalence of different devices that are generally connected via wireless? And of course, we're seeing a lot of laptops and smartphones as expected, but we're seeing a rise of wearables, inventory scanners, different RFID applications, location beacons, and others. This diversity of devices and the many ways they add value to the business just creates a more complex device ecosystem that demands even more coverage and capacity and general high performance from the wireless network. So the second consideration is manageability. IT is being asked to do more and more without necessarily an increase in staffing or other resources. So having a tightly integrated, efficient network management platform is very critical. In a wireless environment, one thing to consider is the value of a single pane of glass platform that has a user-friendly GUI that can even be manageable by non, I would say non-IT staff. Um, Complete wireless LAN visibility to see the performance of the network from end to end, and also what applications are being used, what might be throttling bandwidth, and what kind of security threats may be on the network. Many organizations are considering the ability to integrate their wired networks for an even more unified platform. And of course, moving to the digital transformation era, being able to integrate business applications natively onto the wireless platform is an emerging consideration. Having a turnkey digital business platform is very important for these businesses who rely on the network and digitization to grow their organization through new products and services. Of course, one of the biggest concerns for enterprise IT is always security, and this applies no matter what technology we're talking about. And of course, as networking, compute, and storage become more converged, security thinking is taking a similar path. And that's why we recommend looking at a 360-degree approach for supporting the next generation network. A good wireless LAN platform will support core security tools, WIPs and WIDs, or wireless intrusion prevention services, or wireless intrusion detection systems. Sorry, systems, not services. Very important. Um, Firewalls, of course, are obviously something that need to be supported, and the most common encryption protocols as well. With mobility's imprint on the enterprise, having identity and access management integration is something that many will look for and that all should consider. And of course, the more integrated, the more natively these security tools are baked in, the better. That provides for better visibility, better planning for security, and more seamless upgrades when security needs or technologies change. In specific industries, there are compliance protocols that must be adhered to. I've listed some of the more common ones: FERPA in education, PCI DSS in retail, and any type of customer-facing enterprise that processes payment data, FISMA for government organizations, HIPAA for healthcare, and the list can go on and on. And having a platform that understands those compliance needs is a really great thing, but in many cases, not not negotiable by any means. And just to share some data around security, something that we're finding that's interesting, and when considering when considering wireless platforms and other services, IDC often recommends for organizations to consider a cloud delivered platform. And while that's been picking up steam, cloud delivered platforms for various types of technology, there are those out there who worry that the public cloud may not truly be secure, or that cloud may not meet their needs in other ways. I want to talk specifically about cloud managed security because that's showing some great integration points with enterprise Wi-Fi. And in IDC's most recent enterprise communication survey at the end of 2015, we talked about many security technologies, but specifically in this slide, intrusion detection and prevention. What are plans around migrating those services to the cloud? And we're seeing from the survey, nearly half have already migrated, and there's very positive sentiment about further migration for the remaining respondents in the short term. And I bring this up because next generation security includes these new delivery models and suggests that enterprises are increasingly comfortable with and trusting of security in the cloud overall and cloud-based security. The fourth consideration, and this is one you may not come across often in Wi-Fi platforms because it's emerging very quickly and is something that we expect to grow rapidly in the next few years. That's extensibility to APIs and software development kits. And this is really enabling the Wi-Fi platform to be a foundation for building custom wireless applications specific to your enterprise or your organization. This ensures native network interoperability and optimization for custom business applications and provides a cool opportunity to build custom branded applications as well. As mentioned, having single platform management for the wireless LAN provides a lot of opportunities, and we see that extending to APIs and SDKs as well, really building a turnkey business platform on the wireless network, moving from thinking about it as a network platform to a business platform. And what's really key to look for is that these APIs and SDKs seamlessly interoperate with the Wi-Fi network with no performance compromise, with no confusion as to how to manage it. And this is the last point about this. We're seeing this go hand in hand with a culture shift in many organizations to DevOps, or the concurrent development of hardware and application platforms. IDC is seeing around 10% of organizations having significantly developed DevOps practices today, but by the end of the decade, that could grow to half of all organizations. And finally, I just want to bring up an age-old concern, cost, and talk about how the network can move from a cost center to a profit center, or if in education or nonprofit, it can move not necessarily to a profit center, but as a platform to reach more students or to reach more constituents. And things that we're seeing along these lines is that new models of Wi-Fi are moving the investment conversation from CapEx to OpEx. Cloud-based subscription models provide a lot of flexibility for organizations that can't or don't want to undergo significant capital outlays, but also allow for a pay-as-you-go, flexibly scalable model in many ways. Whereas in the old controller-based model of Wi-Fi, the controller could be a choke point to expanding the network. And with digital transformation and the network enabling the organization to achieve its goals, the conversation turns from not a mere TCO, total cost of ownership conversation, but more to a ROI, return on investment conversation. Where is the network providing new business opportunities? Where is the network bringing new efficiencies to back-end operations and saving us money in some sort of way? And we'll see that conversation elevate tremendously with the rise of IoT. And I just gave a few examples in the second bullet of applications that are in this transformation, this evolution of the conversation, and those include wireless collaboration that can cut down on travel costs, location-based services that help learn new insights on customers and students, but also allows for new ways to reach them that may save money or reduce save money, or even bring about new monetization opportunities. And of course, the possibilities seem endless right now as this conversation continues to develop. So with that, I'll just move on to summarize a few points of essential guidance, and to bring third platform back up. Third platform, cloud, big data, mobility, and social business has brought about a new era of digital transformation that is integrally supported by the wireless network. Really, digital transformation cannot happen without the wireless network. Thus, it's important to make sure that an organization's wireless LAN vendor is supporting these 5 major factors. Performance. Do I have enough capacity for all the devices that are on my network? If individuals tend to congregate in one part of the building, Can the access points there support all those devices with high performance currently? Coverage. As I'm doing my job mobilely, can I move about the campus and experience seamless Wi-Fi? How is the quality of service? Do my video calls go through without latency or jitter? And for the IT management, is this manageable? If I need to hire someone new, can they learn this quickly? Does it integrate with other IT management platforms? Does everything work seamlessly together? Security. This is so important with so many high-profile data breaches happening in the last few years. Is security truly end-to-end? Is it natively integrated into my infrastructure so that all the potential pathways to attack are tightly locked down? Extensibility, like I said, this one is a bit of a newer consideration in many ways, but will a Wi-Fi solution support APIs and integration with business apps? That's something very important to look at. And of course, cost. Is this a good investment? And am I generating a quantifiable return? Is the total cost of ownership something that fits in well with the budgetary requirements of my organization? So with that said, my ending piece of advice is that organizations should consider vendors that demonstrate strategic solutions in these 5 areas and understand the growing convergence between IT and the lines of business. And with that, I thank you for your time today. If you would like to get in touch with me with any questions or comments about today's content, please feel free to email or to find me on Twitter at Greene IDC. And again, just thank you for your time today. I will turn it over to Freddy.
Great, thank you, Nolan. I appreciate it. I think that's actually very informative information that many folks out in the market certainly appreciate. From Mojo Networks perspectives, we tend to be fully in line with what Nolan just indicated in this part of the presentation. And for folks that are looking to upgrade their Wi-Fi infrastructure and make the appropriate purchasing decision, we have I guess this 5-step framework where we have a set of features and functionalities that we obviously believe very strongly, and our customers feel very strongly that are far differentiated about other vendors' offerings in the market. Specifically around performance. We introduced some new products into the market that are specifically the C120, that is a Wave 2 access point that is outperforming all the access point vendors out in the market based on our internal tests, which obviously plays into delivering reliable Wi-Fi. Without that, as a practitioner, obviously, that could be quite problematic. Second, from a security perspective, we obviously have over 30 patents around our wireless intrusion prevention capabilities that we call Mojo Airtight. We also have application visibility power and capabilities on our access points, such as the C120. And we've already had a series of security certifications for our cloud managed infrastructure that's a testament to both the technology, but also our internal processes to make sure that the data is protected accordingly for our users. From a management point of view, we have a series of features and capabilities that focus on the management that really further automate the troubleshooting capabilities for IT practitioners and provide key information around analytics that can really help proactively improve the performance of Wi-Fi. From a cost point of view, as we recently announced a couple of weeks ago, we are not, unlike all the other AP vendors in the marketplace, we are not putting a tax on the hardware. We're in essence providing pricing pretty much close to direct of the manufacturer's cost to the market, which can save organizations up to 56% savings on the overall total cost of ownership as it pertains to the Wi-Fi infrastructure. In addition to that, we make it very, very simple where all our particular products have a limited lifetime warranty for the duration of the cloud service that's active. And our pricing includes support and software updates. So it's very, very easy from a pricing and purchasing perspective. And lastly, again, playing to the growing trend that Nolan just indicated earlier about many other functions of IT moving to kind of a DevOps type of function and role, our architecture is extremely extensible. We have a very rich suite of REST APIs that make it very easy for some of our large organizations, as an example, to create custom apps and also integrate through the existing systems to continue their existing operational workflow. And what we're hearing from the market is that our API accessibility is by far unique and is far superior than anything else out in the market today. So, what we encourage folks here on this particular call is that, whether you decide to look at Mojo or any other vendor, to take a look at, as you upgrade your Wi-Fi infrastructure and you consider your purchasing decision, to basically look at it from these 5 variables, right? And some may be more pertinent to you than others. And we would certainly love the opportunity to share a little bit more about how we provide value add and the features and capabilities we have around these 5 components around performance, security, management, cost, and accessibility. And if you're interested to learn more about what we offer around these 5 vectors, feel free to contact us. Erica will be going over the information here. Here we go. So, feel free to give us a call or visit our website and request a personalized demo, and we'll be happy to have anybody in our organization actually give you a test drive of our product, and even go as far as ship some access points for you to try for a 30 to 60-day period. So with that concludes my part of the presentation, and I want to thank both Nolan and our participants for attending this webinar. Erica, back over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Nolan and Freddy. And thank you again, everybody, for taking the time to join. I just wanted to run through a couple of items as we wrap up. Also give time for any questions to come in. Again, please submit them through the Q&A panel or the chat window. Just to answer a couple of questions that have come in around availability of this presentation. We have recorded this, and it will be available online and our YouTube channel for anyone to view after the event. In addition, I just wanted to run through the qualifications for a free access point. For all of those attendees who have qualified today, we will be contacting you to confirm your shipping information, which you provided before this webinar. And again, if you have any questions, you can visit the qualification requirements on our website. All existing Mojo customers or anyone who's received a free access point in the past is not eligible. In addition, our valued partners and resellers are not eligible. And finally, too, I would just like to offer for all those attendees the latest IDC report on cloud managed Wi-Fi, which we will be sending to everyone who joined this call today. So it's $2,500, and we really would love to share this additional information that Nolan talked about today with you. So let me just see if there are any questions coming in here. For any of those, there are a couple questions on how to become a partner. You can just feel free to contact us via the website. We have partner applications there. If you have any product questions, you can also visit our website. I don't see anything specifically, so I'm just going to give it another minute. Someone's asking more specifically about the TCO, Freddy, that you mentioned, or the latest news release around our pricing model, which that can be available in the press release section of our website, and we also have the TCO white paper that's available for download. So I can send the link to you after that.
Yeah, this is Freddy. If you go to our homepage, you'll see it on the top of the homepage of one of the banners around basically it's labeled under Be Smart, save up to 56% on your Wi-Fi. We actually had another industry analyst help us validate and quantify the savings relative to traditional both controller-based Wi-Fi solutions, but also first-generation cloud management Wi-Fi solutions. So the savings are quantified with a set of assumptions. So feel free, and it should be content that's completely ungated, so you don't need to provide any additional information. But you should be able to find that in the particular homepage. In addition to that, Erica can provide a follow-up email for all the folks attending the webinar with a link to that resource.
Absolutely. Another question, Freddy, came in, just I think specifically when we're talking about analytics, if you can shine a little more light into what our analytics offers or what kind of insights we can glean.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're hearing from a lot of practitioners is that obviously folks are getting fairly tired of being in a reactive state. Getting those phone calls from angry users saying that Wi-Fi sucks is not a place that IT practitioners really like to find themselves in. So what we've done over quite a considerable amount of time is develop a suite of features that really provide pertinent information that can enable those folks in the front lines to really be much more proactive. Number one, and number two, when they have to be reactive, they can get the information quickly. So as opposed to spending a considerable amount of time digging for the information, the troubleshoot and diagnose what's broken, they can do it in a matter of seconds. So with that said, our analytics kind of tend to fall in a couple of areas. One, around the performance of the access itself, right? Anything related to the connectivity components, and then there's obviously analytics around the security capabilities and analytics around engagement, specifically for use cases where people want to understand that the device types or that are connecting to the wireless network and how long they're connected, where is their locations. So it goes back to an earlier statement we made in a previous webinar that our architecture is unique in the sense that we provide full management capabilities around Wi-Fi access or connectivity, Wi-Fi security, and Wi-Fi engagement. And it's all fully integrated and unified. And that's not necessarily the case with other vendors out there. Other vendors will provide, obviously, analytics around the access, in some cases requiring third-party tools to be integrated with their particular architectures, but they're very limited from a scope and coverage perspective around security and engagement, thereby placing a lot of unnecessary burden and cost to folks using those older architectures. So our intention with our architecture has really been driven to unify a lot of those components. And candidly, it hasn't been because we've thought about it. It's been because our customers and our markets have really encouraged us to deliver a full unified turnkey solution with appropriate analytics where people can, again, both more proactively troubleshoot and diagnose and when they are in a reactive state of mind, that they can get the information quickly. And to get some more specifics and to actually see it for yourself in the console, I would encourage everyone here on the call to schedule a one-on-one session with one of our sales engineers so they can actually show you that in the console itself.
Great. Thank you so much, Freddy, for that answer. And I hope that answers a lot more questions that might have been coming up. And just reading through a couple of comments, great presentation, Nolan and Freddy. I think everybody here has found this very valuable. And again, appreciate everybody taking the time out of their day to join us. You will see a follow-up email from us shortly, and that will include, again, your complimentary IDC report, in addition to just some more information, again, on how to receive your free access point if you're eligible. And with that, please feel free to contact us, visit our website anytime, and reach out, and we will see you on our next webinar.